This is a forum which aims to further our vision of a responsible, innovative and sustainable Europe through an area of vital and growing importance to business and citizens alike, the area of corporate social responsibility. There is an ancient but perhaps not outdated proverb from Kashmir which says, "We have not inherited the world from our forefathers, we have borrowed it from our children." And I think that is the essence of corporate social responsibility.
What we want to stress is that each region has its own system, it has its own challenges, it has its own reality. And we know that interest groups, trade unions, are those that should be determining the right competitiveness strategy for that region. We think that this is just one tool, one way that will help us to overcome the challenges we have. And our aim ultimately is to achieve regional competitiveness within a framework of sustainability.
The Commission has been involved in corporate social responsibility now for more than 10 years because we think that corporate social responsibility holds a certain number of promise and possibility of progress in order to reconcile economic competitiveness, but also environmental concerns as well as social progress. The action of the Commission in relation to corporate social responsibility has developed over the years. I'm not going to recall all the measure steps that were along our road towards corporate social responsibility.
We've put social responsibility high on the agenda since 2006 as part of the Lisbon Agenda. Today's meeting is intended as a response to a question that arose some weeks ago in the Financial Times, where they asked whether the Lisbon strategy was dead. For us, it's not dead, it's still alive and kicking. But what is going on elsewhere in the regions shows that this is the case.
The debate about CSR, the terminology of CSR is primarily conceived in terms of large enterprises, which is highly misleading. Small businesses are as important, if not more important, to this debate than large businesses. And if we as public authorities, whether it be in the European Commission or in a region of Europe, don't grasp the fact that promoting CSR amongst enterprises means working mainly with small businesses, then we are missing a very big part of the picture, I think.
We've now seen why CSR matters in terms of competitiveness, sustainability, business success, and indeed for social partners. And we've heard quite a bit about the sort of idea of a bottom-up approach. And I think that absolutely is what Vaderegio has been about from the start. That we've been about supporting local, varied and particular initiatives. And we've been very rooted in practical experience. This isn't about something theoretical. It's about something that can really be of value for people who are trying to make this happen.
As we've heard a number of times, this was an overarching program. We wanted to raise awareness, we wanted to train, we wanted to increase recognition, we wanted to develop technologies and toolkits that help to promote CSR in companies, and also some key studies, research, and the possibility to be involved in European programs and networks, which helped us to learn from others and vice versa. We tried to set out why we did the market research, the objectives for Vaderegio, and the idea essentially was about promoting CSR in companies in different regions so that Vaderegio could then support local and regional public administration so that they could instigate public policy activities to work towards this sustainable competitiveness we've mentioned.
And the way we are working is in a binding, it's a voluntary and binding cooperation, so that the companies, if they want to be a member, it's fully voluntary. But if they are first members, then they have to live up to some to some rules within the green network, and the central rule is that they should demonstrate continuous improvements in the companies every year, or at least every second year. And the way we want to secure that they do this is that they make a report on what they have achieved over the last years.
I'm glad to see that there are other representatives of local municipalities from Estonia represented here today from several regions, and we have all come together in Estonia because of the CSR forum in Estonia. We have very good relations with businesses, and we carry out many projects that can be characterized as CSR projects.
So we developed this website on CSR Knowledge Center, it was called. The website offers three different entry points, basically. One for SMEs, one for large companies, and one for education. It's set up around 23 different themes, which are all relevant to CSR. I name a few: stakeholder dialogue, energy savings, and so on.
We also called on adding the CSR issue in the Lisbon strategy. The Commission also published a green and a white paper in the beginning of this century, and this meant that corporate social responsibility was put on the map for the EU institutions. Several forums of stakeholders were launched in Europe, and all this enabled us to debate this matter.
You're not doing this because we at the European level have told you that you shall support CSR. You're doing this because local and regional authorities over many years have committed themselves to sustainability. And together you've promoted the whole Local Agenda 21 process. And I do see what you're doing in this project as being a direct follow-on from that, happily coinciding with what we're trying to do to promote corporate responsibility at the European level, but where you're very much equal partners with us in doing that. And I congratulate you indeed on that.
The first thing we wanted to do when introducing the toolkit was to give you good reasons for being involved in CSR and good reasons for encouraging the businesses in your region to be involved as well. We know from what we've heard today that there's strong commitment to CSR from the European Commission and a keenness to make Europe a pole of excellence in CSR.
This questionnaire that we will be seeing right now is one of the most important and the most practical parts of the toolkit. So Elina will demonstrate us the web page, but what it will give you is basically an assessment of where you are with CSR at this current point, and it will also give you the direction where you want to go based on your own assessments.
Right. So now it's an opportunity for you to reflect and think, what is the reality in your local authority or your organization, and where would you like to be in 2 years? So our first question is very general and asks, what is your understanding of CSR?